just kind of like catching myself like waving.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Exit Row. I'm your host, Adama Anderson. I'm here with Justin Moore
This one's me right here.
and Paige Larson.
Hey, guys.
And we're all waving at the camera, so because Justin decided that
You're watching
we're
on
going
video,
to
we're saying
do
hello.
the hello. So, guys, welcome back. This is episode number 21.
Nice.
We're getting there.
Heck yeah.
We're going to have our 1 year soon. Okay. Yeah. Touching buttons.
Next
I like
episode, I think.
Yeah, next episode should be our 1 year. Let's talk about, we had a trip. Well,
2/3 of the exit row had a trip.
2/3. So Paige and I, we went on a trip down to Austin, Massachusetts. There you go.
Road trip
Yes.
reference.
Road trip reference. There you go. We went to Austin, Texas, because I'm a huge fan of soccer. And
now I am too.
And now
especially
Paige is too.
Yes, she is. And especially the LA Galaxy. That's my team. And
You guys are like the LA Galaxy Omaha chapter, basically.
there you go.
Yep.
LA Oma or whatever. It doesn't matter. Paige, let's go ahead and talk about our trip. We took how many planes?
4.
Yeah. So let's lay it out there. So literally, it was a day trip. Like we flew from Omaha to Minneapolis to Austin. Got out of the airport, went to the stadium. Got to the stadium with about 15, 30 minutes before the game started.
Did you just Uber?
Yeah,
Did you guys
Yeah.
did you take anything with you?
we Ubered. We did take
Backpacks.
a backpack,
But just
they
Ubered straight to the stadium.
Ubered straight to the stadium, and then once we were done, we went right back to the airport with about an hour to spare. There was traffic in Austin,
Yes.
and
Yeah, because the guy warned us. Our first Uber warned us to get out early of the game to beat traffic. So
yeah, and we made it to the airport with like an hour, 30 minutes to an hour before our time to board to come back to Omaha. So
Yep.
Utilized your time nicely then.
we did
Yes.
very, very close. LA Galaxy did not win. That's okay. They have many chances this year to win. So, Paige, this was your first time
in first class.
in first class. So let's go ahead and talk about it. First flight out of Omaha.
On the ERJ 175. So first class on that isn't really as good as you might find on like the main line. But I got my pre-flight drink, which made me feel so special. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I got ginger ale. You got coffee, I believe.
I think I did. Yep, I got coffee.
Flight attendant was great. She came by and she was thanking us. Well, she thanked you for being
Because let's
whatever status you are.
remember why we're in first class, Page. It's because
yeah.
of Adama. Let's
Yeah.
thank Adama here.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, because I am platinum status. Thank you very much.
Yes, so she came by and thanked you for that, and then she thanked me for being a loyal not Rapid Roars, because that's Southwest.
Wow.
I'm so
Thanked you-
sorry. I'm
She
sorry.
thanked you for having an account, basically. Is what
Yes.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's always funny when the airlines do that, regardless of airline, basically saying, thanks for having a username and password.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And then back to the pre-flight drinks. We had a guy who decided his pre-flight drink of choice was a double shot of, I believe, bourbon or whiskey. So I was like, "Ooh!" And this is, and mind you, let's lay this out. This was a 7 a.m. flight.
Yeah. It was early flight.
That is
yeah.
important context.
Yeah, and so I was like, "Okay, I guess you do you." So we get into the flight, and they're ordering our in-flight drinks. He orders another double shot. I'm like, "Homeboy's getting spicy."
And we're headed up to Minneapolis, which is only about a 55.
Talking under an
flight.
hour, for
Yeah.
sure.
In under an hour flight. So I see him do that, and I'm like, oh man, okay. I wouldn't do it, but you know. I think I ordered another ginger ale or something, or an apple juice, because apple juice is one of my in-flight drink choices, along with ginger ale.
That's a tease for coming up later.
Oh,
It is.
a
It
possible.
is, yeah.
Stick around.
And then he orders another double shot. So we got 6 drinks, basically, in the span of an hour.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how he wasn't stumbling out of the plane, but
Well, maybe he's a functioning alcoholic, especially in the morning. Some people need that alcohol in the morning.
Moving on. Doesn't matter.
So we get to Minneapolis, and we got something really nifty in Minneapolis that I'll go ahead and show on the camera here. Some Minneapolis airport cards, because they participate in the, I don't know what program it's called, but there's a series of airports that will participate in having airport cards.
So for people that maybe are wondering where to get those, where did you find them?
It was a kiosk, and it was one
Yes.
of the
It was the information booth.
information booths. There we go.
There you
Yep.
go.
So Minneapolis, Midway, Fort Lauderdale, Charlotte, I believe all those have them. There's more.
Yeah, the majority of them are actually. I was looking it up the other day. A lot of them are from Minnesota. So like St. Paul's
Yeah.
Airport, Bemidji, they have one. There's like 5 or 6 more other Minneapolis airports who participate in it.
There's really no reason every airport should have them. You know what I mean?
No.
There's really no reason.
But it's
Right.
it's a little neat.
No,
you
no,
know?
I'm saying there's no
Yeah.
reason every airport shouldn't have them.
Oh.
Like you should be able
Yeah.
to get them anywhere.
right?
That's what I'm saying. Well, and on the back of the card, it has a little bit of stats. Like it has the coordinates, map coordinates where MSP is located, and then just some general little cool facts about Minneapolis and a picture of the airport, and then a picture of the terminal on
Like the
front.
trading cards on Delta, just with airports.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm bringing it up right now. It's through the National Airports Council International Association. But yeah, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Quite a few. SFO has one. Phoenix has one. SLC.
Kind of funny the ones that have them and the ones
Right.
that don't.
Right.
Like
and
LAX doesn't.
a few Canadian ones. And then there's 21D. So 21D is, I don't know which airport that is. But anyways,
I don't know either.
there you go.
So yeah, we were only in Minneapolis for not very long, really enough time only to go grab that and then get to our gate. So we fly down to Austin on the A320. Yeah, the A320. We fly down to Austin. We were in Economy Plus, I think. I'm not sure. But I know we weren't in first for that one. And we get to Austin. It was a great flight. I slept for a good portion of it. So,
Good to know. Good to know.
yeah, one of the only times I can sleep on a plane is when I wake up crazy early for
I
a
was going
flight.
to say, didn't you just literally talk about not being able to sleep on a plane?
The vast majority of the time, yes, I cannot. Another teaser to what's...
So why did you
coming up.
sleep on this one? You were just tired? What's going on?
Yeah, because we got back late the night before from the volleyball game, and then we wake up at 4:30 or something like that for the flight. So early morning, not a whole lot of sleep, so I was able to fall asleep on that one, but not before I got my bisque off, because that's essential.
Which the wrapper did change.
The wrapper changed.
The wrapper changed. Just
Very recently.
some trivia that's out there, ladies and gentlemen. That it did change recently.
That's some trivia. That's a fact. I don't know if that's trivia. But
Fun fact.
trivia would be saying, did the wrapper change? But no,
Ooh.
yeah.
That's true. That's true.
All right, so off to Austin.
Off to Austin. We get there for the LA Galaxy game. And like you said, unfortunately, they lost. You know, it was still a good time, though.
Yeah.
So anytime you get to go to a new stadium and watch your team play, it's a good time.
There's
So,
always something about seeing your favorite team on the road, too. I think Adama and I have talked about this.
Oh man,
There's
it-
some-
Right.
And I think Paige is maybe now realizing that since Paige is new to like sports, relatively new.
I realized that big time when I watched Nebraska and Dublin.
Oh, that's true. You
There-
do. You do have a
Yeah.
legit one, yeah. But there is something about seeing your not just a team, your favorite team on the road.
Oh yeah, like
Yes.
well, it did in Kansas City this year. You know, we're headed to Charlotte this weekend to go do 2 things: go to the game and then see one of our old spotter friends here from Omaha.
Yep.
But yeah, like absolutely, that could be for another topic for another discussion.
Yeah.
or whatever. What I'm trying to say. But yeah, sports away. Yeah, get it.
Yep.
Planes help us get there. So we're at Austin, got done with the game, made our way back. Austin's pretty cool. They have a lot of transportation. Like at the Austin Stadium, they also had, it's transportation. So they also
Yeah.
have rail there too, right there in front of the.
Is that stadium relatively new too? Because it's a new club in general.
Oh,
Austin
yeah.
FC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really new, aren't they?
Yeah, they're I think 2 years old, 2 or
Oh,
3
wow.
years old, and yeah, Q2 Stadium is what it's called.
Yeah.
But yeah, transportation everywhere. Get back to the Austin airport. Who gets clapped again?
I was just about to
always
say that.
get
Always with
clapped.
that comb.
Yeah, so I have a comb and I forget about it every time. This time I didn't forget about it. I just put it in my bag, and I have a comb that is metal, and it sometimes looks like a knife because it's like a switchblade. It
Sweet
looks like.
comb, dude.
Right?
So I like those old combs, but yeah, so I get clapped there at the Austin airport, in
Maybe for those of us listening that don't know what clapped means, like maybe for some of the adults listening,
That's
like
right,
my mom,
those youngins.
would you like to explain what you mean by getting clapped?
Yeah, please explain what clapped means.
I'm talking to you, Adama.
It just
You're the one who got clapped.
It basically means you get in trouble is the way I like to look at it for doing
or
something wrong.
something, or,
You got
or
pulled
something
aside.
bad
So,
happens.
for example,
like,
I'm not talking in general. I'm saying in this exact instance, though.
Yeah.
What did it mean?
Yeah, so they pulled
got
me
pulled
aside.
aside.
They said,
you
"Hey
got
sir,
clapped by TSA.
hey sir, we need to look
That
at your
didn't answer the
bag."
question.
Yeah.
What does getting clapped mean? It means you got clapped, man.
It basically,
That's how Paige just answered that.
right. That's exactly how she said it.
Never
So
mind. We're not
what it
concerned.
means
Move on.
is basically they scan my bag and they, you know how that bag actually gets pulled from the conveyor belt,
Yeah, off to the side.
and then, hey, is this your bag? Yes, it's my bag. Let me guess, it's because of the comb. Oh, I'm not sure. And then, yep, sure enough, it was.
He's got a comb.
He's got a.
Watch out, everyone! This guy's dangerous.
So yeah, moral of the story is don't bring that comb, even though that's my favorite comb, and I'm still going to bring it.
And you're going to do it
all
again,
the time.
for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, get through the airport. We saw something pretty cool at the airport. The Austin airport's
Yes.
pretty nice, actually.
Is.
So
Because you guys saw the main terminal this time
Yeah,
yes,
versus when we were there previously.
or Redway. Yeah,
the Redway when it was down at the. Now we did see
South
that
terminal.
terminal. We did
The
see
old
those
South
Allegiants
terminal?
out there.
yep.
The South Terminal. We did see. Okay, so the gates themselves, they had signage. Remember, they had like.
They had the wild animals at every gate. They had some sort of a wild animal and then a little bit of a description of them, which I thought was really cute. And they had axolotls, which I love axolotls. So
Yeah. They also were selling some of the South by Southwest gear that had been a few weeks old, so you could see that in the airport.
the Eclipse gear.
They had some Eclipse gear as well, and then but that main in front of the bathrooms, I don't know which gates it is, but there was that special gate.
Yeah, it was like a fantasy gate almost. So I don't really know how to explain it, but the gate, it had like these cracked open double doors, and it was very old vintage style. And beyond that, like in the crack of the doors, it was a very bright light, so it looked like it was going to open and lead to like this fantasy world. And the departure and arrival board was like different planets and different like solar systems and different sort of like interspace aircraft.
So it was more. So it was actually like Star Wars places. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm
real
trying to get at.
Actual fantasy, Dune and all those type of planets. Like it's
So the
Harry
departure board
Potter.
had actual like Star Wars places on the board.
Yeah,
what you're saying.
like fantasy places that are in
Right.
books and all
Yeah.
that. It wasn't just Star Wars, but multiple places. Harry Potter was
Like
in there.
Tatooine and whatnot, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the seats were cool. Like it started off as like a regular row of seats, and then it gradually kind of dissolved into the seats going into the wall.
Correct. And
And-
on the other side of the wall was the other part of those seats.
Yes, and there was a window. So when you look through that window, you could see the other half of the seats that was cut off by the wall. I just thought that was so super unique, super cool. I don't remember if there was anything else.
They also had some books that were in that wall, but they had this board that you could get your passport or get your boarding pass for one of these future destinations, these fantasy destinations.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely made for everybody, and I thought it was neat. Like adding those little things. I love when airports have those random things.
If you're into Star Wars, is what you're saying, and you're in Austin Airport.
Or if you're into fantasy stuff, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like whatever. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that. And so we were originally supposed to be economy plus for that flight, but then they called us up last minute and upgraded us to first.
Literally with a minute to go.
Yeah, until boarding.
So an actual question here: did Paige get upgraded too because she was under your companion pass? Like, why did
Correct.
she also get upgraded?
Yeah, she got upgraded.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so they called me ahead of time and they're like, hey, so are you okay being split up? I'm like, yeah, it's first class. I'm okay.
Right.
Like,
Screw her. I'm not.
it's yes. And I asked Paige and she's like, yeah, that's okay. And she was literally right behind me. So
As long as it got those window seats,
Yeah.
But I would have gone either way, I think. So
I'm not sure about that. I don't know.
So we get.
I just wondered out of curiosity. I did wonder how that worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So we get on. We saw the Star Wars Alaska plane there, actually,
That's right.
to kind of go along with the Fantasy Gate.
It was at the gate too. It was at that one gate that you're
It
talking
was
about.
at the gate right next to us.
Yeah.
Close enough. Close enough.
So we get on. We get to. It was an A321 over to Atlanta. So upgraded to first class. I got some Prosecco and watched The Office. And of course, had some of the most amazing snacks to ever be on first class, which is the Vigo Bears. If you've ever flown Delta first class and know what I'm talking about, these things will send you to another universe because they're so good. And I mean that with 100% seriousness.
Yeah, you're pretty into these.
You are really into them.
Oh, last year when I had them for the first time, I was like, "Is this real? Like, is this actually a thing?" So I got my Vigo Bears, I got some chips, and of course my Biscoff. We get into Atlanta, and
My favorite airport.
yep, and we visit the outdoor lounge.
Oh, that's right. Because we were in the F gates, or no? I think it's the I gates. It's the international. Okay, so yes.
Oh yeah,
This-
that's weird.
It's the international terminal, and they have 1 or 2 gates that are domestic,
And we
so-
just happened to get that one gate.
and which was right next to Turkish Airlines and like
That
Singapore
randomly
Airlines.
happened at LAX a few times too. It's awesome though. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it was super cool. It was crazy boarding next to people that were going to Turkey, and then there was a
Right.
South Africa flight boarding next to us.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so crazy, but also kind of cool. So we stayed in the lounge for a little bit, and
Yeah. This lounge, it's the Delta Lounge is. This is one of the ones that has the outdoor viewing decks, and
it was beautiful outside. Of course, all the seats were taken because it was such a beautiful night.
of course.
I discovered that I like hummus in this lounge. Like, I've had it a few other.
Adama just opening
Pick
pages,
you.
page up to new world.
Take you to the Atlanta Delta
Right?
Sky Club.
Well, I've had it a couple other times, and it just never really did anything for me. But this one, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can. I
Without
can do this.
Adama, Paige would have no idea about hummus.
That's so weird, right?
Thank the Lord.
Good hummus.
Thank the Lord.
Because I've had it a couple other times. I was just like, meh. But this one was good, so definitely going to scope out some of that again. So,
So glad that was noted. So glad we talked about that. Yeah.
because I still think about it because it was so good.
Delta.
So, yes, Delta Life.
This is a promotion for Delta. Is basically what you're trying. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have Delta hummus, basically, is what I'm saying.
All right. So we get on our flight.
Yes, which is on a 737-800 with Delta, of course. And our route was a little bit weird.
Yeah, just a little bit.
A little bit. Well, so the day before, and we'll get to this a little bit later, the big tornado outbreak happened in Nebraska and Iowa. And there was another kind of follow-up storm system to that we had to navigate around on our flight back. And this was a late departure flight. It was like a 9 or something p.m. departure or
You
something
guys
like
left
that.
around 9:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And
you were tracking us.
Of
Oh, yeah.
Remember, you were like, "Hey, look."
Yeah. 'Cause
yeah.
You guys had some storms to avoid for sure.
Yeah, so we departed on time, but got into Omaha about 30 minutes late due to the flight path that we had to take.
But hey, that just means more time on a plane.
And it was first class again.
And it was
so
first class.
more time on first class,
There you go.
Come
There
on.
you go.
right? But yeah, so I didn't complain. We ended up by Chicago, actually.
Yeah. So usually the route goes through southwestern Iowa.
Yeah. And you have Kansas City off to the left of the plane.
Right. This time, just not possible.
No,
Spend a little extra time. That's that springtime flying.
it is.
'Cause that happened to me and I didn't talk about in the last podcast when I went for the solar eclipse flight. Then when I left Houston to go to Dallas, my brother was tracking. He's like, "You guys went it's like a 30-minute flight, but it ended up being like a 2.5-hour flight because we had to
Ooh.
go all the way around the storms." And then like he was tracking. He's like, "Yeah, they finally punched through at this part of the clouds to get through that storm." So yeah, it's just don't go flying in Texas. in the springtime.
Yeah,
Don't
Texas,
fly in Texas in
Oklahoma.
the springtime. Got
Either
it.
of those
Okay. Yeah,
can
just don't
be
fly into
bad
Texas for a
news.
few months. Got it. I'm sure people will note that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did have to terminate our drink service early, so we didn't get another round of drinks or snacks or anything, which whatever, because we ordered ahead of time. But they did say that for safety, they were going to get everything done early, drink, snacks, and everything like that, because we were going to be sitting down in our seat belts for the rest of the flight. And it did get a little bit bumpy for sure. Not too terrible. There was a couple spots where it wasn't too pleasant, but not overall, not too terrible. And we landed at Omaha just fine. And yeah.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rest is history, right? So are you still going to be flying Southwest instead of Delta?
Tomorrow, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
Well, when this podcast
No, it
comes
depends.
out, it'll be
Adama,
already
is she gonna be
happened.
flying Delta? You tell me. I mean, she flew Delta because of you.
you got to get, you got your Southwest. You're going to get it.
Flaws my BB. So
All right. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and take a break and we will be right back.
Adios.
bye. Hey guys, welcome back. And hey guys,
Yeah, we're just waving at the
we're
camera.
just waving
If you're
at
still there, hello. Welcome back.
Big if.
if oh god, I hope so.
They are.
Yes. Justin, you got
up?
some little sports information to talk about.
It's not little. This isn't a little cute segment page. Come on.
Come on.
Like, build it up. Say something. Say it like you mean it. I know this isn't Paige's polls.
Justin Sports. Justin Sports.
No, see, that's the exact same thing. That's exactly
You
what I
have
just
some of the
said.
best aviation sports related news out there in the world, and it's time for you to show it.
There it is. You know, that was actually
Ooh,
pretty
look at
impressive.
that. I know. I really
Paige
impressed.
weirdly
You know
delivered
what?
there.
Here we go.
Thanks.
There you go.
Paige weirdly delivered
Heck
there.
yeah.
Boom.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right.
I don't even remember what I was going to say now, to be honest. I was a little caught off guard by that.
I was, again, impressed.
That was actually pretty sweet. Well done. Sorry, I don't mean to
Thank you.
extract.
Thank
My
you.
bad. Anyway, so yeah. So like we mentioned, I think we started this last week, maybe the week before, or pod before.
Pod before.
Yeah.
Just a little, trying to blend both of our worlds, I guess, now that we're all sports people here at the desk. Bringing sports and aviation together, since this is the Exit Row, an aviation podcast, and since we are all sports fans as well, just bring a little nugget that kind of brings the two worlds together.
Like
So-
Denver Nuggets.
That's a sports team. Yes, sir.
Hey, there we go.
That's a sports team. They fly on planes.
Not
They-
chicken
exactly.
nuggets. Let's make that clear.
That didn't need to even be said, but I'm glad you clarified.
There we go. Let's go.
Not chicken nuggets. Anyway, so yes, the one thing I have for you today is the WNBA is now implementing charters league-wide, which is a huge move. I mean, the WNBA's obviously stock is rising at an incredible rate now. Not just because of Caitlin Clark.
Nope.
She has about 90% of it, though.
I was gonna
But-
say I can figure
But
out
she's a
why.
huge deal of it. But I mean, obviously, she's not personally funding the charters. There's a lot more behind this, but it's a big deal. I mean, the WNBA was honestly, they're all basically chartering their own way. You could probably catch some teams on commercial flights if you tried hard enough every once in a while. But basically, it's a $25 million per year to basically charter these teams all out. And now the NBA is basically the big brother here as well as the owners basically making this happen. $25 million is a lot for a league that doesn't really bring that in either when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've ever seen Caitlin Clark's rookie deal. There's people out there in engineering jobs making more than she is right now.
Yeah. What was it? 78,000. Yeah.
Something like that.
Ooh.
I mean, obviously not including the endorsements, but just the baseline, the fact that she's making less than some people working legitimate jobs is kind of hilarious.
Right.
Right.
And wrong, to be quite honest. But anyway, so this $25 million a year will secure private charters for all of the teams, which is the way it should be. And the WNBA is even adding a 13th team. It's either 13 or 14. Someone will correct me. But they're adding another team in Toronto, and they're going to be the Valkyries.
Nice.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's the right move. The WNBA is on a heater right now in terms of good pub and everything it deserves.
Well, and you had the draft. The draft was a big deal this year.
It's the first time they ever opened it to like the public, period. Like the first time there was an audience for the draft. So yeah, that was a huge deal.
Yeah.
And then did you see the video?
have to be more specific.
Indiana Fever, or the Indiana? Yeah, it's the Indiana Fever.
That's a team?
Yep. They showed off their being inside the charter. It's kind of cool.
I guess I didn't see that. That's awesome though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's our little sports news. So little segments here. The other one I unfortunately don't have too many details on this. I've been trying to look it up, but I can't find it back on the Twitterverse. Unfortunately, the black hole Twitter X. Once you see something, you
yeah.
never see it again, kind of thing, unless you like it. That's just kind of feel like I never remember to like something and then it's gone forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, so the Air Force baseball team. I'm sure some people saw this, some people didn't. But anyway, Air Force baseball. Speaking of charter flights, they took a C-17 back as their charter.
Oh, I love when the Air
Wow.
Force
It
does
was
that.
awesome. It was pretty sweet. Like, it was kind of fun. I just found it kind of ironic because they were using like their own vehicles, if that makes sense. It was just kind of
my God.
I thought it was pretty sweet. I mean, it looked hella uncomfortable, but it looked so right at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
flying on a C-17. Oh,
It's just kind of funny because you just typically would imagine like a college baseball team taking maybe like an Allegiant A320, but they're rocking a C-17. Now, they don't do this on every one of their charters, but this week they made news because they did fly the C-17 back as one of their charters from, I do not remember the game, I apologize, but regardless, that was noteworthy. It was pretty sweet to see because they
Absolutely.
had like all their bags, like all the bats and the balls were sitting in the middle, and they're all lining the walls. It was
okay.
pretty
So they
sweet.
had the wall. Okay,
That is
pretty sweet.
wild.
That's
I know you could talk a little more to that, but yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I've personally flown on a C-17 multiple times. The longest flight I ever did was about a 12-hour flight.
Only 12?
Yeah, only 12.
Only.
And it was coming back from, I think we stopped in Turkmenistan, I think, or something like that. Anyways,
who?
I took I'm sorry. The pilots had asked if everybody that was on the aircraft, there's about, I want to say there's probably 40 of us, if anybody needed to stop in Gander, Canada. And everybody's like, no, we don't need to stop. So we went all the way to Seattle, to SeaTac. And unfortunately, we were bringing back some human remains. So it was a very somber flight for 12 hours. But what's really cool, some of the things that like with that C-17 is compared to like the C-130. C-17 actually has a bathroom in there compared to the C-130 where you have to go to the back and there's like a bag.
That was going to be my question. Like, what kind of bathrooms are equipped in those kind of planes?
Yeah,
You
C-17.
just don't open the back and you just out the back.
God.
I don't know. I don't know all the details about it, but yeah, it's just this little thing that goes like this, and then you can go in the back.
Anyway, moving on. Yeah.
But the C-17, like one of the things that people were doing is they were actually sleeping on like the back where the ramp is, where it goes up. So people are just sleeping.
That's how they were showing some of the team.
gotcha.
Was just
Right
like
on there.
lounging around. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so like with the C-17, it's so versatile that like you were saying, like they had their pallets of their gear that were in the middle.
It was sweet. It was cool. It was a really cool picture.
Sometimes they'll actually have or pallets that are seats. So if they're trying to get a lot of people over, like the WWE will sometimes, like back when they were doing the overseas tours, they would actually fly on the C-17s out there.
Bringing it back to
Oh,
Omaha.
wow.
If you remember the COVID time when they were bringing people back in from Wuhan, China here
Oh,
to the
that's
medical
right.
center.
Oh,
they was
I
flying them
remember
on
that.
C-17 and 747s. Yeah.
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 So yeah, so yeah, it's just the C-17's a great aircraft.
But anyway, I thought you would especially find that a cool story. That
I
the
love
Air
it.
Force baseball team was using that as a charter is pretty awesome. Pretty
Right.
awesome. Well done, Air Force. But anyway, those are my two little segments here. And I hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, too bad. It's going to happen next time.
That's
Whether
right.
you like it or not.
Right. You're going to like the sports segment.
You and
I'm going to make you like it.
But it was a cool picture to see them like lining the walls and they were just all passed out because they'd played a game. But it was cool to see them like, it was ironic. They're like utilizing their own equipment, if that makes sense, as a charter. It was pretty sweet.
I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
Speaking of, just here's some trivia, and this is going to be in future podcasts. But the C5, I learned this week that it is so long.
How long is it, Adama?
There we go. That it is longer than the Wright brothers' first flight.
That's wild.
There you go.
Long.
Long boy.
It's long.
It is a long boy.
So, speaking of long, it's not long, but the Eppley Airport. We're going back to the storms from the previous segment. So, Paige, we had talked about how we flew out the day after the tornadoes had hit Nebraska.
Yes.
And just wanted to share some information about it. Thankfully, Pablo, one of our friends, and he's been on our podcast before. He was actually at the airport when this was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy that a tornado had dropped, which actually formed over our home. It was starting to circulate. That's what the local
Rotate.
rotate.
Yeah, that was wild.
It started circling. I think it started as early as Papillion was starting to rotate.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Rusty, one of our local
Rusty
weathermen,
Lord.
was showing like pictures of it and saying that it was forming over here, and dropped down right at Eppley. And it didn't hit the actual passenger part of the airport. It hit the general aviation side. And like the local radio or local news channel WOWT actually had a camera there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got taken out live.
It was
Yes, it
was
did.
a live
It was incredible footage.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it was just right there looking at the tornado. Oh, the tornado is formed. It is formed. It is here at Eppley, and it looks like it's coming towards the. Yep, it's coming for the camera. And
Because honestly, this was a wild. The city was pretty shook at this point because legitimate F3, F4 had just tore through Elkhorn. So
Yeah.
like, this is later that afternoon. Like city had gone through a lot that day. But yeah, that camera, that WWT camera, got taken out live. I
Right.
was watching
Yeah.
that as it happened. That was incredible stuff.
so unfortunately, it caused a lot of damage. The next day, Eppley Airport reported that there was 32 privately owned general aviation aircraft that were stored that were damaged. 4 hangar buildings were damaged as well. And
No one hurt though. No one hurt.
Yeah, thankfully, no one
Yeah.
hurt.
I mean, honestly, like there could have been a ton more. Like this wasn't Berkshire weekend. This was the week before.
It was the
Berkshire
week
weekend,
before.
Yeah.
when there would have been
before.
a ton more aircraft
Oh,
sitting
man.
over there.
Oh my goodness! Think about that. Yeah, all the aircraft that are there right now, or that were there that weekend.
Right.
There's video that's out there. People who were actually inside the airport. There's also what was it? A United aircraft that
Yeah.
was just it was waiting for its gate and was just sitting there like tornado's coming. Like
Well, but they couldn't go into the gate because they had to evacuate the rampers and all the people, the ground crew and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like, well, if you die, you die.
yeah, just imagine being on a what was it? It was a 730, whatever it was.
It was like an
19.
A320 or 19, one of those two.
Yeah, just imagine being on that aircraft and there's a tornado coming right at you, or it just forms right next to you.
They
You're like,
basically saw it go right to left out their windows if you're on the left side of the plane.
yeah,
But yeah.
Yeah.
crazy.
But yeah, I mean, luckily no injuries. I mean, it was pretty incredible footage from people that do have videos and pictures from it. I mean, it's one of those things where like, I mean, look, the main terminal dodged a huge bullet here.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Huge
that would have
bullet.
been
I mean,
really bad.
It might need it anyway, so it's getting
I mean,
revitalized.
of course,
anyway.
there's those things that can be said as well.
Right.
But no, I mean, in all honesty,
Start the
it really did
process.
dodge a huge bullet that day.
Thankfully,
Not
yeah.
that there's any good side, if there is any bright side, like the fact that no one was hurt, obviously, and the fact that, you know, it did dodge the main terminal where there were lots of people at the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for the Eppley damage. I think they got rid of almost all of it. There's just a lot of damage around the city still. Everybody's trying to recover, but yeah, that was a day here. Speaking of Eppley, let's go ahead and transition to Eppley. We also found out that recently Southwest Airlines Colleen Barrett recently passed, and the way that Eppley is connected is to her livery, her special aircraft that was dedicated to her, was actually in.
So here's the desert, and that's not the Desert Gold one, right? It's the
It's the Canyon Blue Retro.
Canyon Blue one, right?
The
Canyon
Max
It's not
Blue
on a
Retro.
Max, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And it has her sticker on the cheek stamp on it. So
Yep. And so it just happened to be at Eppley that day. So
Yep.
Weird timing. Weird timing.
weird timing.
Right.
Yeah, because it came out the next day, and I was like, "Whoa, did we just had that?" The day
Yeah.
Before.
Yep.
And yeah, so Colleen Barrett, historic Southwest individual, and so
I mean, no disrespect here, but I didn't even know she was alive until I found out she passed. I'll be completely honest.
I'm gonna say the same thing too. So I didn't know.
I mean, I knew she was still alive, but you know.
So is Herb Keller still around?
No, he passed.
Yeah,
in
that's a hard
2019.
no. Right
Okay,
there, yeah.
there you go.
Resident Southwest officer over here.
R.I.P. Colleen, you did good.
You done good.
There we go. All right. Hey, so let's go ahead and talk about something that I'm very interested in.
Oh, sure. Why not? Let's talk about you. What's up?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about me. No. Hey, so you both know, and some of our listeners know, that I was on the E4B, the NAOC. Yeah.
Really? You never
No
mentioned it before.
freaking way.
What?
There's a
Don't
big old
say.
NAOC up there if you're looking at the video.
Oh yeah.
Hey, so, yeah, so go ahead and laugh. It's okay.
No, it's not.
LOL.
So the NAOC is now going to
We're
be
on the E4B.
jealous much. So the NAOC is now going to be called the SAOC. All right, so it's the Survivable Airborne Operations Center instead of the National Airborne
It sounds like
Operations Center.
something someone would say like theory schmeary. You know, like people go naok schmaok. You know, like it sounds
Yes,
like,
exactly.
that sounds like a joke. It legitimately sounds like a joke.
Naok,
Yeah, right, sure. Naok Sayok,
I
right?
was going to say,
Does it not sound like a
Right.
joke?
Like Adama says, hey, I used to fly in the Naok. Naok Sayok.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm getting at. Right. Please, Naok Sayok. You were saying.
all right. So, anyways, recently Sierra Nevada won the contract for the new SAOC. That's yeah, the new NAOC.
Just geared up for that one.
Sayok.
The new NAOC SAOC. They recently won the contract. It was a $13 billion contract,
Woo.
massive, and they are expected to buy out. It looks like it's going to be some Korean Air 747.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
7
Yep.
Does anyone else find that weird? I think it's odd.
800s.
I mean, I know they're not Korean-made planes. It just seems weird that we're buying these planes that were in Korea for a long time. Now they're going to be used as U.S. military planes. It just is an odd theory.
Just keep them in the Korean livery.
Yes, that's what I brought up earlier, and they should be undercover E4.
Undercover
Yeah.
E4Bs.
And not to mention they would look better in the Korean Air livery.
undercover SAOCs. Yeah.
I was just going to
That's
say
right.
that,
I guess
yeah.
Sayok, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're going to be the 747 800s and not the 200s that they are. Actually, I mean, if you actually research the old NAOC planes, you will see that some of them are from Air China, I think. Don't quote me correctly, but
Air China, got it.
in one of the aircraft, you still see the actual foreign language of the lavatories.
Oh, that's cool.
That's,
Yeah.
that's actually pretty awesome, yeah.
So,
So what's the word on the E4Bs? Are they going to be retired or just used elsewhere?
good question. I don't know. I don't know that.
What would you think? Probably retire them. Is that why they're getting these in general? Is
Yeah,
because they're moving on.
They need to move on.
I mean, what
I
these E4Bs
assume
are like 60 years old, right? They're you would not.
Yeah,
I remember
I
when I
think
first
so.
saw the age, I was
70.
surprised.
73, 74.
You
are
wouldn't
the years
guess.
of the
You
aircraft.
wouldn't guess by looking at that at how old those planes are.
They're-
Right.
Like from the outside.
Oh yeah,
From the outside, right?
from the inside for
Well, it's
sure.
just like some of those.
Right. From the inside. Yeah.
Right. Well, and some of those tankers are up there in their 60s too that we see.
Because it always catches me off guard when you see a plane on like say flight radar and anything hitting maybe 55 years and up, I have to look twice.
You're like, what?
Yeah.
Oof. Like when you see a DC-9 says 93 years old and you're like, no.
I know.
It's old. Yeah. So the NAOCs currently they are 50 years old. 1973, 74, and 75 are the years of the four aircraft. And I assume that they're just going to go put them in like the Smithsonian Air Museum, or they're going to put them in some.
You would think they're moving on.
Oh, yeah.
That's the reason for getting these new ones though, right?
They're outdated and old.
Right.
I mean, like you can compare the engines, the president's plane. It's being updated right now, Air Force One, and the difference between the Air Force One currently, the VC-25, and the E-4B is like one of the difference is the engines. Obviously, the president needs a very quiet aircraft, and the NAOC
Yeah.
is very loud. So
That is true. Yeah, it doesn't sneak by you. That's for sure.
No.
especially here in Omaha when we hear it. But yeah, it's time to upgrade. It's time to move on.
It's going to happen eventually. Has to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so those are all details to be all discovered in the news. And
Easy camera.
whoa,
Easy.
we just lost our feed.
We lost visual.
Oh, RIP.
Um,
We're in IFR right now.
yeah.
I
So
was just thinking that, yeah, we got no visual. IFR.
hello.
Currently in a cloud.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and change that camera, and we are gonna be right back.
Okay, BRB.
Heck yeah.
Welcome back to the X0. We're back with visual.
Again,
We're on
Back.
VFR at this moment in time.
And let's see. So, talking segments, as we have been lately, the most known segment is
Paige's polls. Paige's polls. Paige's polls.
you two are so good at that.
Look at it. Look.
Heck yeah.
They make eye contact when they say it at the end, too. It gets weird.
All right, let's go.
All right, yeah, let's get into it. So, first question of our segment today would be the anticipation. can you sleep on an airplane?
Good
So
question.
the choices were yes, no, or
Maybe so.
maybe so. Yes, maybe for a future bowl. Or it depends. And then a little chat box saying what helps you and or prohibits you from sleeping in the sky. So yes won at 40%. It depends second at 32%, and no at 28%, with a vote of 10 to 8 to 7. So let's get into some of these responses. So this XRS 54, I can tell you love beer. 4:30 a.m. beers help a lot.
4:30 a.m. beers.
A.m. Not P.M. A.M.
Hey.
Okay, man. Sounds like you've got other issues, but sure.
Oh, God, no.
I don't know if
Not
a
me.
4:30 a.m. beer helps anything, my man. Sorry.
Well, then A-list flyer Chris says,
4:30 a.m. beers.
I know, right?
Didn't it
I
say-
couldn't, but
Isn't it like anything at night? It's not going to be good. Like, yeah, I don't know
No.
the phrase. I'm old. Anyways, go next. A-list flyer.
he says, has to be dark and or at least light chop. So I kind of
funny.
agree with that.
There is something awesome about flying. I've always liked flying at night over flying during the daytime, just
I'm
because
the
there is the
opposite.
ambience. I love it so much. Not that it's about falling asleep, but I just love the ambience of flying at night so much more.
I like day a lot better myself.
I like light or night because I can see all the cities and the light. I love it. Oh, yeah.
When it's just right flying at night, nothing beats it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And especially with the mood lighting on planes. Come on, man. Like
Right.
where it's at.
Yeah, especially in those Southwest Maxes with that blue lighting. Love it. Evan with aviation says, what helps me is focusing on happy things and keeping the air blowing on me.
Focusing on happy things, happy thoughts, happy thoughts.
That's
Happy
how.
thoughts.
That's how.
Is I'm on a plane. That's what I'm saying. Like my happy thought is, oh, I'm on a plane.
You thinking of being on a plane while you're on a plane.
Right.
That is-
Exactly.
that is what you would do.
Yeah. Randall, more than words, said,
Oh, what's up, man?
Hey, Randall.
That's my dad.
can't sleep sitting up. I 100% agree with that. I struggle with that myself.
He'll be happy to hear that that's not just an old man issue. Thank you for saying that.
If I sleep sitting up, I fall forward, so can't do it. I at least have
Oh,
to
that's
have-
interesting.
Okay.
You know, some.
I do.
So is that you're saying that's happened?
Yes. I have to have the window so I can like prop
You've been
my head up.
you've fallen forward after. I can't
On a
even-
flight, yes. On
you-
this
like
last
you've
trip I
hit,
did.
Like you've hit the seat in front of you.
Not quite, but I've like fallen like that at least.
Like when you're nodding off is what you're saying.
But yeah, but I'll like start to fall forward and I'll get about halfway there. Yeah. I don't know why, but 801 Ramper says lack of space. Brian Weeds says a lie flat biz seat.
Well, no duh, Brian.
Yeah. Come on, Brian. Come on.
You know, and
With
I've
all due
never had
respect.
that before, but I can agree that would be
Yeah, no duh. Obviously,
prime.
yeah.
prime airplane sleeping. Walker_Nixon said focusing on the roaring of the engines with the sleep mask help. Insomnia does not help.
Correct. Both. Yes.
Yes. Jet Set Shirt says depends on how good the view is outside the window. I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, if it's Texas, I'm falling asleep. Yeah, I get it.
It's Texas, but if it's Iowa, what you're not.
I gotta be awake for that. There's gonna see some really good stuff out the window. That one. Ramp Force 1 says only if I'm in a FC seat. And
Oh, first class. Gotcha. I was
I'll-
slow.
Yeah.
I've never heard it referred to as
I've
FC.
never heard FC, but it makes
Neither.
sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it makes sense because it literally does. But
when
yeah.
it comes to like,
I've just never heard
text.
someone refer to it as FC. You know,
aviation is
now
just
you
full
know
of
it's FC.
abbreviations in general, though. So,
the world in general.
like NAOC and SAOC.
yeah, exactly.
First class FC.
Yeah, no.
Sounds like a soccer club.
It does, actually.
Never mind, go.
And then last response is actually from my dad, IH_Mike. Obnoxious people nearby prevent me from sleeping.
Sounds like it was a particular issue he's referring to.
That definitely could be. It happened a little bit on our Ireland flight, but it also it takes me back to your
Oh, he's not
United.
referring to you as the obnoxious person?
No,
Gotcha.
I'm always
Boom.
good. I'm always good, and not me.
There you
Oh
go.
no! Don't put the clapping on for that. It's fake.
There you go.
Y'all are fake noobs. Okay.
Says the one who's doing the polls.
Yeah, my polls are real news, so just saying. And then our next one. What is your drink?
No. So we got to finish off with your response to the question. We can't.
Oh,
Yeah, we have
Come
to go
on.
around the
Sorry,
room.
I'm so
We have
sorry.
to go around the room before we go to
Rude.
question number 2.
Rude.
Wow.
Okay, I get it. I'm sorry, it was a mistake. Y'all.
Yeah.
You're just like, no.
Get that away from me. He's
You-
pointing
It was
pointing
what he
fingers
did.
in my
It was
face.
what he did. I was
Yeah, I
like,
could have done the old military way.
how come you didn't how come you didn't send Adama
Whoa.
away when he pointed?
Whoa, whoa,
You just
whoa.
sent
What's
Adama.
going on here?
Oh,
I say, how come you didn't send Adama away? I point at you. You tell me to go away, but Adama went like this, and you let it happen.
Like, whoa.
yours was closer. Yours was just kind of back there, and I was like face to face with finger. But y'all can both get your fingers out of my face because I am real news right now.
Okay, let's get
And
to
I am
the
so
answer
sorry.
to this question.
Okay, so my answer to this question would be get that out of here. Oh my gosh, that too.
Hey, you two, stop. I will turn this podcast
Turn
around.
this podcast around. Okay. My response is the only way. My God, the only way that I could sleep on a plane is if I'm very tired, like our Austin trip. Woke up super early, and having it be dark helps. But typically, I struggle to sleep sitting up. I fall all over the place, fall forward usually, or on the person next to me, or whatever. Or yeah. So that's my take on that.
Good to know. Yes, I can fall asleep in a plane. I'll keep mine short and sweet. Yes.
And myself, if it's air refueling in a E4B, aka the NAOC, yes, I can definitely fall asleep because that thing rocks you to sleep.
Should you be
so,
falling asleep during an air refueling? That doesn't sound right.
as long as the pilot isn't, then I'm happy.
I don't know how it works.
I thought it was like violent turbulence for air refueling, like it makes you sick.
Oh, it depends on where you're at in the aircraft. If you're all the way in the back, then yeah, maybe.
Gotcha.
But I can definitely fall asleep. Yeah. All right, now let's go to question number 2.
You may proceed with the second question now.
Proceed.
Okay, glad to have your guys' permission.
Hey, watch it.
So, the next one. What is your drink of choice during a flight? So,
4 beers, 4:30 a.m.
4 beers.
funny you say that because XRS54 had his input. Beer emoji times 4.
Didn't he just reply with the other one too?
Yes, it's the same guy.
He said,
So, XRS54, if we go back to the beginning of the episode, are you the one that had the double shots of bourbon on my flight from Omaha to Minneapolis? Just wondering. Yeah.
on your flight. It wasn't your.
Our flight.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's always Paige's.
Yeah, was that you? Just curious.
It is a weird coincidence.
Right.
The fact that he says times 4, right?
Yeah, exactly. But then we have Lara Ketterman who says IPA. Love me an IPA.
Shout out non-rev lounge.
Gross.
Absolutely.
To the IPA, not non-Red Lounge.
I was going to say, which one?
That was poor timing.
Yeah, so Delta has their own variety of IPA actually because your taste buds are different so high in the air. So they have perfected an IPA that you can drink on the plane.
Alaska's got the same thing for
Yeah.
Yep.
in-flight beer.
And then Randall again
Shout
chiming
out.
in with Gatorade.
Which you can't bring on air, or I'm sorry, you can't get it on an aircraft,
You can
so
bring
he's
it.
No, but
got
you
to
can bring
bring
it.
it on.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's the question here is like, are we talking about something you're getting only in service? Because that's a huge different question. 'Cause
Yeah, I guess I should have specified that, but really, I think it encompasses everything, you know? Because some people just have go-to drinks that they drink only on the plane, whether it's they ordered it or they brought it on. So my mom is taking shots at me now at Pal's Mom 1.
Shots, like shots.
that's her drink of choice.
No, shots like pew pew. Water, unlike my daughter.
Hey, she rhymed though. She rhymed.
That's true. That's true.
So Paige's
So-
mom, what's up? Paige boozes on flights?
No, not more than 1 or 2 drinks.
Not more
I
than
limit
that,
myself. I limit myself.
unlike XRS or whoever he is. Right?
Oh yeah, XRS 54. He goes hard. He goes all in.
Apparently, and he's letting,
4:30 hard.
who knows what
Right?
he's doing at 6 p.m. My.
Woo, man. Yeah, those 6 p.m. flights. That's gonna hit different. Matthew _ Little G, ginger ale, Sprite Zero, or cranberry apple.
Ooh, okay.
It's a good variety. Jet Set shirts with ginger ale, and that's one of mine.
Ginger ale is very common, I feel like. I'm not a
is.
big ginger ale guy, though. I always find it weird because I've never really cared for it.
Well, even airlines post. How can you? They'll make some sort of a joke post on social media, being like, how can you not go on a flight without having ginger ale? It's just
And I say easily. I do.
right. Yeah, for you. And then planes and planes, Bloody Mary mix, no ice,
I've seen them. Yeah, people
Yeah.
do that.
no Bloody Mary for me.
Well, it's just the mix.
Even the mix, I can't do it. Bad experience. Walker_Nixon on a short flight, pop on a 4-hour plus flight, vodka or any other strong drink.
Wait, that was Walker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said pop. He's from the Midwest. For those who don't know, that can also
I
be
knew you
a
were gonna call
soda
that out.
or a Coke.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. Yeah.
Yeah. So then my dad, IH_Mike, too many variables. Time of day is a big one. And I agree.
There are
with
just
that.
too many variables. I agree.
Yes, I am not drinking
Like you
4
said it,
beers or alcohol at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, no. And then S_Mahan15, Sprite.
Okay.
So
Let's go around the room here.
mine, non-alcoholic, would be ginger ale and or apple juice. And then if it's later in the evening, I'll go usually for a Prosecco on a flight.
The Prosec.
Prosecco.
Glass of wine is nice. If it's gonna be on the house like first class, I'll get a glass of wine for sure. Not necessarily gonna pay for it. But in the morning, I go apple juice or orange juice, one of the two. After 10 a.m., it's kind of like the McDonald's menu. After 10 a.m., my menu changes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I usually bring a coffee on the flight. In all honesty, I usually don't get something from the beverage cart unless I'm sitting in like a higher class, to be quite honest. So
You mean an FC class?
unless I'm
Yes.
sitting in FC.
Yeah, yeah.
Adama, how about you?
For me, usually I have no problems with the coffee on planes, so
I
people
don't
will have
either.
that. Well, they will have that debate, whatnot. So usually it's like it's gonna be an orange juice and a coffee for before 10 o'clock, right? After 10 o'clock, I think I start to go, okay, I can have a
Time to make some decisions.
hazy IPA or maybe I like to go old man there sometimes. I go gin and tonic, like it's just classy,
I haven't even had those.
But it only has to be.
Ever had a
again,
gin and tonic in your life?
I've maybe tried it once, just like a sip, but I've never had a full drink of it. No.
Yeah, it's
Just
just
sounds like you need to show her the way this weekend.
there you go.
I guess, yeah.
But yeah, I'm like you, Justin. I'm not going to be paying for it. So if I get it,
Right.
Yeah,
like the Prosecco. If it's available, like on the house, I'll get it. Not going to pay for it, though.
and then when I do travel internationally, I go overseas. Usually when they, here in America, they will depart in the evening to arrive in the morning in Europe. And one of the things I will do is I will always get that orange juice and coffee. Or like in Italy, they have it's Ace or Ace drink, ACE, which is it's orange, carrot, and a lemon, all mixed together as a juice. It sounds weird, but it's really
it
good.
does.
Sounds
a
terrible.
lot
I
of
believe
people.
you. Sounds like
I mean,
you get all your vitamins there, like
you got a full day of nutrients right there.
Right.
exactly. And
Yeah.
it's so good.
I love trying new things, so I would try it. Not 100% sure that I would like it, but I would try it. So
Never know until you find out.
Exactly. So that's it for Paige's polls. Paige's polls. Paige's.
polls.
There you go. All right, we're almost ready to close up, but first, close the episode. But first, let's talk about Berkshire Weekend. You guys happen to be involved in that? They
Yes,
brought
we
in
did.
a lot of planes into Omaha,
Lots of
into
Smoplan.
Eppley, and Paige. You had a little fun. Justin, you've done Berkshire Weekend quite a few weekends.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
This is
I've
my
done it
first
once
one.
before.
So
I don't need to do it again, but that's just me.
Well, me and Randall go over here to the actual meeting, but Paige, you go first because I know you're excited to talk about this.
well, there's really not too much to it, but yeah, this was my first time going to the Berkshire Weekend, and so the day before they obviously have the kind of shopping.
You went on the
merch
Friday.
table,
Friday's the
Friday.
shopping day.
Yep. And so what I didn't know going into it is that NetJets had a table set up, and they also brought in a fuselage mock-up of I think it was a Citation, some variant of a Citation. And so you could go in, you could see the cockpit, you could see the seats, and actually like they wouldn't let you go in the cockpit, but you could sit in the seats. They had a big flight tracker TV on the wall. The window shades were kind of like the mechanical window shades.
It was a model of the actual fuselage.
Yes.
So yeah, no, what you're explaining is the inside of a jet, right? Because there's people
Exactly.
there legitimately looking at jets. Yeah.
Yeah, to buy them or whatever. Yeah, like, and so just getting to sit in that, got my picture taken. So that was super cool. My only time in anything remotely close to a private jet. So
Even if it didn't have wings, right?
Even if it didn't have wings,
Exactly.
right?
Still counts.
And they also had something else that you were able to get?
they did, and it's up in my bedroom right now. But it is a NetJets plush plane, and my dad actually, me and him went through the line to go into the plane, and while we were in line, he kind of pointed out the merch booth they had, and we saw like the hats and whatever else they had, and he was like, "I think that's a plush plane over there," and I'm like, "Oh." And sure enough, it was. And I'm
Say
like,
no more. Beeline.
say
yes.
less. Headed there right now.
I got
Yeah.
the pen from that stand this year. They have a sweet pen.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, I didn't get that one, but yeah, I got the plush plane and my dad got the hat. So,
The plush plane. I mean, I'm not in that whole crowd, but it is a nice one. It is nice.
right? Yeah,
It's unique.
it is.
And Justin, you and
What up?
your Randall, Justin and Randall, you both ran the 5K.
Yeah, we did the. We haven't done that in a few years, but we did it again this year. Randall and I challenged him to it. I beat him, obviously. But just
Shout out,
kidding.
Randall.
But yeah, no. Just taking a step back. Yeah, I've gone with Randall for almost the last like 15 plus years to that, and he's gone even longer. We go to the actual meeting on Saturday morning. Get up early, 4 or 5, get in line. Yeah, it's become a tradition unlike any other, as they say. But yeah, we did the 5K, which they put on every year, the Invest in Yourself 5K, which we participated in. It's pretty cool. I would say that's maybe one of the more richer 5Ks, if that makes sense, of the people that are involved in that one.
Yeah, high class 5K.
A lot of money running around, yeah.
Absolutely. People just running 20s falling out kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, it was a good weekend. I'm glad Paige finally got to see that because, yeah, that's always probably the hottest. One of the more well-known exhibits there is that NetJets fuselage that they bring in every year.
Yes.
People love it. People absolutely love it. It's funny. But yeah, another good Berkshire weekend in the books.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
One thing of news, there's a new airline starting called Zoom with an exclamation point. Airlines.
That is key.
Yeah,
Yes.
with an exclamation point.
It's not Zoom. It's Zoom.
Zoom.
Exactly.
It's It's being started up by the former Global X CEO.
Oh, so that's going to go well.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not the red way. And it looks like it's operating under the same concept that Breeze Airways does, where they had the Embraer 195s, and they're going to eventually move over to the A220s.
But it's like an inner Florida airline at the moment, right?
Correct.
So unlike Breeze, it's going to operate just Florida-based.
Well, it's going to be just like how Air Florida used to work. And I think it started off within Florida, but then moved out to get people into Florida.
At least the initial plan, though, is just a few flights, but going like they're commuter flights within Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be hopefully a successful adventure. We'll see.
It's a tall task. It doesn't matter who you are, as we've learned.
Yes.
Airlines just are destined to fail, unfortunately. But
Yeah,
hopefully it does work.
Unless it get bought out too. There's that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see that. That also brings me to that there's a great documentary out there, kind of morbid in a way, but the founder of Air Florida, the CEO, his last 30 days of his life were all documented by his daughter, I think, and it became a documentary. So it's called Last Flight Home. Came out like 2-3 years ago.
Oh.
It was interesting. So on that note, let's go ahead and talk about future travels. Paige, what you got going on next?
So tomorrow we are headed to Charlotte via Southwest.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
By we, you mean you and Adama,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, unfortunately, sorry, Justin.
Oh.
This is just the Paige and Adama show once again.
Going to go see the LA Galaxy and Matt Garcia.
Heck yeah. Or MBG Aviation, as he
So
calls
are
himself
you
on
taking him
Instagram.
on your companion pass this time? How does this work?
Yeah, I would have, unfortunately. Southwest companion passes are a little bit difficult to get, but yeah, I'm bringing him on my BB, and then
2 of them.
2 of them, yes, because we're laying over in Midway. We got good boarding position though, so we're in the A20s and A40s for both flights. So
You did, but
okay, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, go ahead. What's up with the butt?
Okay, well, he is a position in front of me, it's not like it's a big deal or anything because it's not like it's 6 people separating us. Throwback to the Fort Lauderdale flight. So it's whatever to me, but
As you can tell, it's clearly just whatever.
It's just whatever.
I didn't even. You're the one who pointed it out to me. I didn't even notice. So
Yeah.
Whatever. I didn't even
win.
notice.
Yeah, I
didn't even
didn't
notice.
And then on the way back.
Good.
On the way back.
We are flying Delta.
Delta.
Your BB, Delta. Yep. To Atlanta and then laying over in Atlanta and then Atlanta home. So.
That's right.
And real quick, I forgot to do this. I need to shout out my friend who made something really cool for me. If you can see it on the video right here. That is my picture of Freedom 1. And his name is Tally Ho Aviation. And he sells these trading cards, which it has all the info on the back of the aircraft. And then, of course, credits to the photographers. And so he sells these trading cards on Etsy and eBay. So Tally Ho Aviation trading cards. And typically, like he said crew members, pilots, they will buy these cards to give out. So he approached me and said that he found this picture that I
You
posted.
two meet each other. Like, explain that. Like, how did you even come across this guy?
So he sent me a message because he scopes out specific pictures of specific aircraft to put on these trading cards. And so I had hashtagged my Freedom 1 with its registration. And so he was able to find that and then asked me, hey, like, can I put this on a trading card? I'll send you a pack of them. But then I sell them on eBay and Etsy to usually the crew members will buy those and then give them out to passengers or AvGeeks.
It is really cool.
everybody.
It's awesome.
It's
right.
pretty cool.
It's so awesome. So yeah, check him out. You can,
I want my picture on a card.
I mean, hey, I'll send you on over to him. This is really, really cool.
It is awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, check him out on Etsy and eBay if you want to buy some trading cards.
Very cool. So yeah, taking Delta all the way back. Justin, you got any trips in the next 2-3 weeks?
I do not, man.
No.
Sorry, I'm not cool like you guys.
Uh,
I'm the poor guy of the group.
no, you're not. Whatever. I'm not going there. All right. So hey,
Hey, if one of you want to bring me on, if you want to bring me on one of these exclusive roommate trips, that'd be sweet.
hey, you're always welcome.
Heck yeah.
So I am headed to Milan a few days after we get back from Charlotte. I'm taking Delta up to JFK, and then I'm taking Lufthansa 747
Whoa.
400, not the 800, from JFK to Frankfurt, and then Frankfurt to Milan. And then I'm going to be flying up a few days later, head up to Prague for a few days. And then I'll be taking EasyJet. And then from Prague, I'm taking Brussels Airlines out to Brussels. And then I'm taking from Brussels to Toronto, Air Canada. Getting an experience with Air Canada. Finishing it up with Toronto to Chicago on the Air Canada A220.
You're flying everywhere, man. Like, legitimately. Good Lord.
Right?
I'd like to try different routes. And so, again, I'm not trying to hold status next year. So I'm trying different routes to get to wherever. So
Then I will be flying to Chicago that same day because we are going to a Galaxy game.
shocking, right?
I want to go to
Or
Chicago.
soccer.
I want to go to Chicago.
Come on out. Come on out.
Or soccer.
All right. So on that note, let's go ahead and go through the handle train.
I'm at
Paige.
spotting dot. Oh.
Justin, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Mine matters literally the least. I don't do anything on it, but it's at spotting.omaha.
Paige.
And mine is almost spotter page, and then my little travel buddy adventures with Aileron.
And you can follow me, Photography by Adama D, on Instagram. You can also follow us at the Exero Pod on the Instagram. Please like, subscribe, share, and share to your dogs too. Your
Round of
friends.
applause for the episode.
All the pets.
All the corgis.
All the corgis.
Our Exero mascot.
From us three, thank you
Henry.
so much. We hope you have a good, thanks for listening, and we will see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.